Communication, I think, is crucial. I think I'm a good communicator.
Actually, I also believe in energy.
Definitely.
I believe in energy.
Present in my office, I'm going to work as a real estate professional. If I'm home, I'm going to be the best husband.
So what's your why?
That's a good question.
Exclusive on Real Talk.
Yes, yes.
Hello and welcome to our 5th episode of Real Talk Show. With me, James Hackman. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So before diving in, our audience would love to know, who is James Hackman?
James Hackman is a leader. He is genuine. He cares about servicing the customer with all of their real estate needs. I got in this business because I wanted to take care of the customer and provide the best customer service experience. And I think James does a great job at being a realtor.
Do you have in mind kind of skills that made you choose real estate?
Communication, I think, is crucial. I think I'm a good communicator, organized, thorough, and if I say something, then I'm going to do it.
Oh,
Well, I think there's a lot of, part-time agents in this industry, and their schedule is conflicted with their other obligations. I think that, if you need to show up for your customers, and I think that that's a rare trait, and especially now in this shifting market, I think there's a lot of, you got to go deeper in the qualification with your customers, whether it's the sellers or the buyers, and figure out their motivation. And I think I do a great job on finding that motivation and doing the best job for them based on their motivation.
See what the things that are motivating and you can help them get in there.
Definitely, yeah. So part of my initial process is, prospecting, and then once I make the connection with the customer, whether it's a seller or the buyer, is motivation. Motivation is the number one, which is kind of the caveat to everything else, which would be by when, how are you going to pay, etc. But the motivation is going to be the deciding factor on all the other questions that I ask.
But before, what was your background before getting into real estate? What made you go into real estate?
I've always been an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur?
Yes.
What was your business?
I own a sign company in Boca Raton.
Mm-hmm.
I still own a sign company in Boca Raton. I've now shifted and I've delegated and I've hired people in order to run that business.
Delegate.
Yes.
Delegate.
And that's where I think the leadership came in. I started that business, early in my career, and it started as kind of I didn't know where it was going to go exactly. And we got into the political arena, so we do a lot of the political advertising, and I met some great connections, and that's kind of where the real estate,
started popping out into your life.
Exactly, yeah. And I have a lot of friends that are in the industry, a lot of affiliates that became friends in the industry, lenders, title, insurance, and inspections, and they all said you'd be a great agent based on your communication, based on how genuine and how transparent, and
being a businessman. Being a businessman, it would helps a lot because you already know what is it like dealing with customers, what is it being there for your customer, leading, and being a businessman. It's a lot of headache that people
definitely.
Not anyone can be an entrepreneur, actually.
No, of course, and I think it starts with your foundation as a person, and I think every morning. I purchased a gratitude journal for 2023.
Oh,
What's that? I've already started. So it's a journal that has some framework on gratitude.
So you write down and
And I start every morning with gratitude, and that is going to shift your perspective on the objections that you come across, things that you thought were going to turn out one way, but actually end up going in a different way. But if you always have a lens of gratitude, I believe that is going to be way more influential than having a pessimistic or a negative attitude towards things, because
you remember the things that you have.
Exactly. And where focus goes, energy flows. I think that is where focus goes, energy flows. Yeah. Tony Robbins said that.
Tony Robbins, all right.
But I think
it's... Oh, you listen to podcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts. And
so what's your morning routine? You made me curious. I want to know.
So I get up at about 4:15, 4:30 in the morning.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And start the caffeine, coffee.
You start about caffeine.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of bed, get the brain going. Affirmations. So it starts with the positivity,
You use your phone in the morning or?
No, I usually don't check my phone until about 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Good. Mm-hmm.
And then, so affirmations, and then I let the dogs out. I have 2 Shih Tzus.
I love that.
Let the pets out, and then get to the gratitude journal. Start my mornings with gratitude, and then go to the gym.
Oh.
Yeah, go to the gym, and then
exercise.
Yes, exercise is crucial for the mental health as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously physical health, but mental health as well. And then by about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm either commuting to the office or I'm staying home in the office to figure out what my day looks like. I have a calendar, it's digital, and I have a tangible calendar as well.
Yes, tangible calendar is so much useful. I love the
I think it's a demographic thing. I think it's like an age thing. I know like millennials are like probably the last of the tangible agenda people.
Yeah, maybe, yes. I think so. But it's so useful.
Oh, yeah. And it's,
into it. I think it's, I don't know, I like it.
Definitely.
I just like tangible calendars.
I've tried it, not having a journal or not having a calendar, and it's a recipe for failure in my opinion.
No, yes.
Based on my personality, my schedule. If I don't have a time blocked schedule, it's not good.
No, it's not good for business neither. You have to know what you gotta do, what is the to-do list and this day and everything. And it makes you feel better because I don't know if you have this thing as well, but like me personally, when I have nothing to do and like my schedule is kind of empty, I kind of feel weird and like I feel anxious.
Definitely.
I feel so much anxious. Like I gotta do something.
Right.
I have to do something.
Right, exactly. And I think you're 100% right. And I think it's crucial to celebrate the wins as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not calculating and if you're not scheduling and putting it in writing, then I feel like you think your day is gone to waste. Versus, writing it down, even if it's just prospecting, making a few phone calls. I try to shoot for about 25 to 30 calls a day, whether that's for sale by owners, expireds, circle prospecting. But 25 to 30 is usually the sweet spot because there's so much more follow-up. Anything more than 25, 30 contacts per day, usually you're going to have way more time in order to put them in a CRM in order to follow up with them, because you're not going to create business on one phone call. It's going to be the repetitive and the structural and how you contact this customer, because in my experience, usually if they're for sale by owner or they're expired, they're going to list again. And I would want to be that person.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be that person, but I just call you once. So I think that's a big, and that's something I had to learn.
Following up.
Exactly. Follow up is the secret sauce. Follow-up, communication, developing a connection with the customer, and figuring out why they should use you.
Do you have any strategy to follow up? Like, do you have your James Hackman
So, my brokerage, Balustrade Real Estate, we believe in the Buffini and Company Foundation, which is much like any other real estate coaching platform. You are given a CRM, you are, given pretty much a task for the week or the day, and it starts with follow-up, and they are big on like the mayor campaign. So it would be, hey Shimei, this is James, we haven't spoken in a while, but just want to see how you're doing today. Oh, great, what's going on?
Just like make it a human relationship.
Exactly. But then I go into the who do you know that would be buying or selling real estate in the next 3-6 months? Well, I don't know anybody. Okay, well, can I be that professional that you would rely on in order to send people you know, like, and trust to me? Oh, well, yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. So then, okay, that's a great conversation. Thanks, Shimei. Have a good day. I know you're busy. Bye. Chances of me being top of mind are very rare if I only call you one time.
True. No, it's kind of
all
impossible.
It's all follow-up, in my opinion.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. I mean, just talking about yourself. Imagine I call you, you don't know me, and I call you only once. You're not gonna remember me, not because you didn't like me or whatever, not because I'm not I'm not good at my business, but I have to follow up. I have But I totally get it.
Definitely.
I totally get it. Following up, it's so important in this business or any other business.
Definitely. And I think we met at the realtor board in Boca.
Yes.
And
yes.
There was excuse me. There was probably 30 or 50 people there,
Mm-hmm.
and they all kind of had the same objective, is to introduce and create rapport. And it's hard to kind of keep everybody on in track and retain everybody's name and what they do and everything else. So following up and emailing me and scheduling me to come in.
Yes.
Obviously, we're going to create a relationship and a connection.
Actually, I also believe in energy.
Definitely.
I believe in energy. Sometimes, like, there's some people that following up and everything, but it's not like when you feel that genuine energy, when you feel like this people is winning, like, you can see the future, you can see the vision, you can see that you can get somewhere with that person, then it's why not?
Mm-hmm.
And you just need to put up hard work, commitment, discipline, and just get it done. Just get it done. But I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for joining me today, for real.
Of course.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, moving forward, tell me, what are the most challenges that you face in real estate industry?
Challenges. I think discipline.
Discipline.
Definitely. Discipline, I think.
Within yourself, or?
Yes, discipline within myself, being a leader in my office. I feel like a lot of agents, including myself, we know what to do. It's just we don't apply the knowledge that we learn in order to be our best self. So, and then I think that's where discipline comes in. And I think discipline it should be the foundation, right? So getting a schedule and sticking to the schedule, being disciplined with the schedule, whether that's, if you are going to go full time, you have to dedicate yourself, 40 hours, 50 hours minimum in order to be successful, especially in this industry, especially now with the shifting market, because there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of objections, but if you are disciplined in your gratitude, you'll look at all the opportunities versus the negative.
The negative
narrative.
Yes, like, it all depends on how do you see things.
Definitely.
You have to see things from this positive way, but also be disciplined and committed. Since this work, you don't have a boss. You're the boss of yourself. So you have to tell yourself, wake up, call, do this.
Everything is hard. I think being broke is hard. Being a single mom, single father is hard. Being an entrepreneur, being, a multi-millionaire is hard. So you can look at it any other way, but, I think showing up, being disciplined, and, being grateful for the opportunity that you have in order to be your best self, I think that'll go a long way versus, being stuck at the house or, thinking that, oh, well, there's no inventory, so why are they going to pick me? And they said the same thing in 2022, 2021. Why would a seller pick a new agent to represent them when there's all these established agents who have all this other business? Well, I don't know, I'm not going to get any business. Well, I closed 10 transactions in 2022, which is something that, statistically, you're not supposed to have any transactions your first year. So I think
10 transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats!
Thank
Congrats!
you.
Congrats! I'm happy for you. Like,
Thank you.
This is big. People will be like 2 years and didn't close even the first one, but maybe because they're not like putting work.
And I don't have any other attributes that nobody else that somebody else wouldn't have, right? So it's not like I was given to this. I didn't have any, real estate experience. I just
went. You were new.
Definitely.
So it's definitely
helpful with the brokerage, and I wanted to touch base on kind of why I picked my brokerage. I think you have to find your tribe, and I think that's big on energy, based on you have to align yourself with people that are like you, so that they can take out the best in you, and and I think that's it's a huge opportunity when you find a right brokerage for you, because then you can align yourself. And since I started, I've always wanted to talk to the top producers. I've always wanted to talk to my broker. I've always had one-on-one sessions with my broker, sales manager, top producers, because I just want to pick their brain. And it's not because I wanted to get all this wealth of knowledge. It was, okay, I wanted to build the confidence in order to go out into the marketplace and then be my best self. So if you're not going to the office, if you're staying at home because we can work from home and Zoom and everything else, I think Zoom is enabling a lot of people to stay in their comfort zone.
True.
Because, I understand, with the pandemic and health concerns and everything else, I get it. But I think now we're at a point where
we can meet and
safety and vaccines and everything else. So I think I'm a big proponent on supporting my manager in my office. I'm a big proponent on supporting my office's mission with showing up and be present where your feet are. If I'm in the office, I'm going to be present in my office. I'm going to work as a real estate professional. If I'm home, I'm going to be the best husband and dog father and housekeeper that I could be.
That I could be.
Because,
be present.
Right.
Be present.
If you're home, working from home, you got to do the laundry, and then, okay, I'm hungry, go make a snack, and then all of a sudden you start going, in my opinion, in my experience, that's like downward spiral of, what did I get done today? How many calls did I make? Oh, I'll start in another hour. Oh, my show's on. So then, again, I think it's big on just be present where your feet are. And my home is my sanctuary, not my office.
Not my office, but you have office at home.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. No,
it's like for you.
Yeah, I think it's more of just
personal
the
space.
environment, right? It's like
your morning.
Yes, if I choose to, because I've written contracts at my house.
Yeah, so you obviously need an office.
I don't want to bring any customers to my house though. I have to have boundaries.
Yes, no, I totally agree with that now.
But
unless you were selling it.
No, not yet. No. We just bought in July. My wife and I just bought our house in July.
Congrats!
Thank
Congrats!
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm happy for you. See, you're evolving.
Definitely.
You're getting it.
That was part of my why, and I think it's another crucial morning is I go over my why on kind of why I get up every day and try.
So what's your why?
That's a good question.
Exclusive on Real Talk.
Yes. A question you did not send me. What is my why? My why is I want to be the best I can be every day. I want to support my wife the best way that I can. I think it's just showing up every day. I think it's big to lead yourself first so that you can lead others, and start getting into the kind of your past on things that may think that are limiting you, and make them your strengths, because usually the things that you think that are your weaknesses could be your strengths. Just work on them.
Thank you for providing us with your why.
Thank you.
I'm here soaking in the most important thing, because I'm in front of a leader, I'm in front of a coach, I'm in front of a mentor. I'd rather learn before learning.
I don't consider myself any of those things, but I
think you are, because I really think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, a leader, you're a businessman. In order to be a businessman, you have to be a leader. A coach, now when you're talking about your morning routine, what do you do in order to succeed? You are basically coaching others. Like, you are kind of giving tips in order to be better, your better self. And what did I say? Mentor? Mm-hmm. You're mentoring. Come on.
Well, mentor. I think that's.
And you're modest?
Yes. Well, no. So I think when I started my real estate business, I immediately wanted a mentor. And at my previous brokerage, that was a program that they offered. And they offer, it's you have to kind of give up some of your split and everything else. And so it's an investment in yourself, essentially, because a lot of people don't know what to do, right? A lot of people, when they start, they're like, okay, I have a buyer, but I don't know where to begin. So I think that's where the structure comes from a mentor who's been around. It's a top producer. They're willing to help. And you have to have the teacher mind frame, because I think if you can't do this business by yourself. You can't win by yourself, and you can't lose by yourself. You have to have your tribe, and you have to have your circle, whether that's friends that are in the business or different brokerages. I have friends that are agents at other brokerages. I have obviously friends that are in my brokerage, title, real estate attorneys, and I think all of them have provided value in my journey.
And do you think having a network is crucial in your success as a real estate agent?
Definitely. Yeah, no, this is a probability business. And you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And it's like that cheesy saying of like your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I think you are who you surround yourself with.
And what's your strategy to build relationships and to bring business?
I recently moved to Plantation in July. Previously, I was on the Parks and Rec advisory board for City of Boca. I met a lot of great people with the City of Boca. I was with the Chamber of Commerce. So all of these networking groups are beneficial because they're all in the same, arena as far as networking. And you have other agents, you have title, you have insurance, senior care, all of these different industries, and they're all in the same kind of arena of just meeting people.
So events, going out, being there, being present is how do you build a business?
Exactly.
How do you build relationships and also business?
Not just attend the events, but make yourself known. It's one thing to be a wallflower at these events, which I was. I mean, I'm not. I haven't always been.
No, but
confident.
Still, you're there. You're there.
I'm also 6'5", so I have a hard time,
not noticing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no way.
Unnoticeable. So, I think it's huge when you can go to an event, not knowing anybody, and leave with 5 or 6 business cards, developing a relationship. Either text or email and say, hey, I want to, how can I service you?
Otherwise, I wanted to ask you about what's your thought about 2023?
2023. I think 2023 is going to be a great year. I do. I think there's a lot of opportunity based on, I understand the interest rates, but my perspective is if you're going to purchase, from a buyer's perspective, if you're going to purchase a home, I don't think a lot of the media narrative is really going to play a role into that decision, because from my own experience, either you're done renting or you're not, and only you can make that decision, right? I understand financially, affordability has gone down based on interest rates and home prices and everything else. I get that, but you're going to be paying a mortgage, whether that's yours or someone else's.
True.
And rent prices have gone up a bit. They're coming down, but they're still, I mean, you can't rent in South Florida for less than $2,000 a month, right? And, based on the, this current administration, they're trying to find programs for people that could, potentially purchase in this market. There's Hometown Heroes, there's, buy down programs. So, and a lot of, I think that's where the agents come in. That's where the work in 2023 is going to be, is educating the customer. 2022, 2021, it was a free for all. Interest rates were so low that buyers could afford more house than they could. And sellers were getting, 60, 70, 80% more than what they could. And now it's kind of slowing down, but I think instead of, I always tell my mastermind in my group is, before we had these clauses of post occupancy, which could still exist, escalation clause, and paying above asking, and love letters when you submit your offer. Those were those strategies. Now we have to find new strategies in this new market. So, and I think it's going to be educating the customer with, I can't afford it because it's, interest rates are 7%. Well, that's not really true. Interest rates are, in the mid 6s, 6.25, 6.5, and really,
But you're gonna be fine.
Exactly. If the seller and the buyer are on the same page, and the agents can come together to create an opportunity, you can, engage in a buy down program, and you can get down payment assistance from the government, and there's opportunities. But you're not going to know these opportunities if you're just listening to the media, listening to the narrative of, well, we'll just wait until prices go down.
No, yes, I totally agree. You have to get in there, get in the market, know people in the market, know people in the industry that will actually lead you. They're professionals. They know what's going on. They're dealing with the market every day. So.
And I think that's where positivity comes from, right? You got, I'm going to find the opportunity versus focusing on the negative.
True.
Which is why I start with gratitude.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us today. You made it to the end of our episode with Mr. James Hackman. What's your final thoughts, your message to the audience, your message to your peers, and your message to your competitors and people that started?
Okay, that's good. So my message to the agents, my fellow agents, is don't let your brand be bigger than your game. I know that your brand is big in this industry, so just make sure that you can walk the walk and educate yourself on a daily basis so that you can best service your customer. And I don't really consider anyone a competitor. We're all fellow agents. We all work together. We're all agent family. For my customers, I'm gonna be here. Forever. So I'm gonna best service you guys the best way I know possible and continue to bring my best game, and that's all I got.
And to
beginners, definitely get into a brokerage that you align with, find your tribe, and get a mentor, ask as many questions as possible, and have fun.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Definitely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.